welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com and doing some more mobile gaming. And as you could probably see right here, this is actually Super Hang-On, the sequel to the very much loved Hang-On made by Yu Suzuki, an AMT AM1 team, or maybe AM2 team for Sega. And what can be said about the whole Hang-On series that hasn't been said before? It was definitely a landmark game. This is actually the sequel, but the original Hang On, Outrun, they really set the standard for racing games for years and years to come. And for Super Hang On, it really wasn't a game that I really got into in the arcades because not many places had them. A lot of places had Hang On, but not many places had Super Hang On. And it's a very simple game. I mean, you just press the button and you go. But it's a little bit different playing it not on the arcades because the arcade they actually had this really cool miniature motorcycle. I mean, you would actually get on it and it was just amazing. And arcade cabinets, Yu Suzuki, Sega, they really pushed the envelope on there. And so part of the whole gaming experience it just wasn't the graphics and sound. I mean, it was really the whole experience. And so that was something that you could not replicate at home and you still cannot replicate today because unless you have a whole miniature motorcycle at home with force feedback and everything, you're not going to get this same experience. And it was just awesome. Oh wow. And as with all the racing games that Yu Suzuki and T made back then, it was more about like beating the time. I mean, he did have a very competitive play when you link machines together, such as like Daytona USA, but you were still battling the time. Even though you were, competing with other people, you were really battling the time. And this really made you hone your driving skills, and also your memorization skills because you really had to know every single turn on these games in order to proceed ahead, and I've never been able to pass these games, even, not on the arcade, even playing like this, because it doesn't matter how many quarters you put in. If you do not beat the time, you don't progress ahead, and that made it extremely challenging, and you can see right there. And, what Yu Suzuki did, him and his team, is that, he really focused on the challenge aspects in terms of like, you just wanted to keep playing so you could get better. There really wasn't much of a quote unquote reward. And I'm not going to get very far in this, but there really wasn't a reward per se, except for you to get to the next part of the level. And as simple as that may sound, in order to get this to work really correctly, you really have to be, on your game, quote unquote, when it comes to design and also play mechanics. And so the graphics here, they were just sweet. I mean, obviously they were better than the original Hang On, but you really, really got a sense of speed. And you even got that on the original Outrun as well. And I don't know what happened to this series. Um, I think after the Sega Genesis, it never really came back. I mean, even after the Saturn came out and the Dreamcast, I don't remember them ever making this again. I wish they did do a new updated version of Hang On, to bring it back, but obviously with different, more modern play mechanics. And so, yeah, that was a Super Hang On. Uh, Definitely one of the most innovative games at the time. And, another representation of the mastery that Yu Suzuki and his team had, and also another arcade hit from Sega. So if you remember playing Super Hang On or Hang On, leave your ideas below. I'd also like to know if there were any arcade racing games that you really enjoyed, and specifically motorcycle racing games. I know in the arcades, Hang On pretty much dominated it, but in the home consoles, there was also series like Road Rash. So leave your thoughts or your experiences below, and we'll see you on another episode of the Mobile Gamer. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.